Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 2:22 a.m. on this early winter evening. We're listening to jazz standards and classical 73 holiday traditions. A little rocking around the Christmas tree with Brenda Lee. I could be a radio announcer if I wanted to be. How are you guys doing tonight? It is so still and Christmassy out tonight. I am in such the Christmas mood already. It's crazy. I might as well just like put up my Christmas tree and everything, so I'm like so in the mood for Christmas. I wish we would start getting lots of snow. I know you guys are like, Peter, we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet. I know, but I'm like so in the mood for Christmas. I don't even know why. Last night I downloaded on Audible that Let It Snow. Oh, that's so funny that was just on. Let It Snow by John Green, Lauren Miracle, and or John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren. John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. And it's like 3 like romantic Christmas stories or whatever. And so I started listening to a little bit of that last night while I was also listening to The Iceman. I'll probably finish that tomorrow. And I listened to like 20 minutes of it or so. It's really good, you guys. Like, I don't know why I've waited for like 3 years to read this book. It's really, really good. And it comes out on Netflix on November 8th. I've given this book so much free promotion when they did this like whole like tie-in booktube thing, which I'm not even part of. But so the book, they made into a movie that's going to be on Netflix, and it's coming out on November 8th. And the book, I started listening to it last night. The first story is called Jubilee Express, and it's about this girl. So it's a young adult book, and it's about the first book. I don't remember who the first one is. I think it's Maureen Johnson, but anyway, it's about this girl named Jubilee, and she has like this boyfriend that's like perfect and everything, and it's like Christmas Eve, and Christmas Eve is like their night together because that's like when they started dating. And her parents get arrested, but I don't want to tell you why, because it's real funny why they get arrested if you want to read it. And so she ends up having to go to visit her grandparents like on Christmas Eve in Florida. She lives in Virginia, so she has to go from Virginia to Florida and take this train, and the train gets stuck in the snow. And that's about, I'm like just at the beginning part of that. I guess maybe I listened to I listened to 20 minutes, so it would have been like 40 minutes of the book. But anyway, I'm just at the beginning of it. But it's really a cute story, and if you're looking for something Christmassy to read, I mean, it was funny because I was reading it or listening to it last night, and I was like, this is definitely putting me in the Christmas mood already, you know? So I don't know, like I'm ready to now like read and listen to all kinds of holiday books this season. Speaking of which, somebody asked in the comment section, they said, how do you afford Audible? Because you read so many books on Audible and it's really expensive. Okay, so there's several different kinds of memberships that you can do on Audible. There's the main one, which I think is like $19.95, and then the next one up is like the gold or the platinum, and I think it's $24.95, and that's the one that I do, and you get 2 credits a month for that. And so 2 credits equals 2 different books. They also have a daily deal on Audible. And every day you get it emailed to you, or you can just get on there every day and see what it is. They'll have a book for sale, and it's usually anywhere from like $1.95 to like $2.95. It's like in there somewhere. And some of the books are really good. I found some like really great books that I loved that were daily deals on Audible. The other thing, and I do this a lot, is that you can buy 3 extra credits for like $34 or something like that. It comes to like $11. It comes to like $11 a credit, which is still a lot cheaper, because if you buy a book on Audible, you get like a member price, which is cheaper than the regular price. But they're you know, still expensive on there. So you get it for like $11. You get it for a cheaper credit. And then like twice a year, they'll have a huge sale where like tons of stuff is on sale. Like I've gone through, like whenever they have a sale, I go through there, because literally like they're books that are like, let's say if they're like $18, $30, they'll be like $3. And I go in and I just mass buy a bunch of stuff, and then I have it in there and I go listen to it later. But the other thing is, if you don't want to do Audible, most libraries are also hooked up to either two services that I know. One's called Overdrive and the other one is called Libby. And I think they're basically the same thing. And you can rent audiobooks through your library on this service. So all you have to do is ask your library, go get a library card, and then ask your library, do you have like the app that goes along with it? And then you can just like, I know Mel does this, and I've actually done it too for audiobooks. You can go in there and you can download books that way. You know, the thing is this, and like this is why I like, you know, when I started on BookTube, I spent so much money on books. Like literally, if you watch my BookTube channel back then, you'll know, like I would go in and I would buy, like I would go to the bookstore like 3 times a week. Well, I don't hardly ever go to the bookstore anymore. You know, I'll go like before I go on a vacation or whatever, but I have so many books out that, you know, like right now on my counter, I have like books that I've started and haven't finished. I have like The Wife Between Us. I have The Raven Boys. I have Supermarket by Logic that I bought. I have like 6 or 7 books out. And then of course, you know, one whole side of my bookshelf is all books that I have never read that I own. And then I have books underneath this cabinet that I haven't read, and I have books underneath our sink that I haven't. I have so many books that I haven't read that I'm trying, unless it's a book that I really, really, really want to own or buy, I try not to buy books today. So, but I still like actively listen to audiobooks, so I don't have a problem spending the money on audiobooks, because I would be, you know, I'm probably spending a lot less than I would if I were buying the physical copies of it, because I'm just not reading as fast as I am listening to books these days. So that's why. But that's one of the ways to do it. That water tastes so good. So there's some other resources out there. And then if anybody else knows, I think there's like Scripps or something like that. I have to take this hat off. This hat is driving me crazy. I think there's another source that you can get like audiobooks for really cheap. So if anybody knows, put it in the comment section below. But that was a good question. You know, and I think everybody has like their one thing that they spend money on. And my one thing that I spend money on, and I really do, and honestly, like, you know, like, that I just don't think much about is audiobooks. Like last night, I didn't have any, oh no, did I have a credit left last night? I think I did have a credit left last night. And that's what I don't remember, but that's what I used to, I must have, because that's what I used to, or maybe I bought 3 last night, I don't remember. I buy 3 credits all the time, you guys. So, but I love audiobooks. What did I do today? Let's see, let's do a little rundown of my day today. I had a great day today, but it seems like it's just been like the longest day ever. I got up today and my fanny pack is so packed at this point that I can't even open it. It's stuck on something. What is it? Oh, this gum. Put this in here. I got up today and I went and got coffee. Do I have any left? Just a little bit. I got coffee and then I did a review of this Starbucks fall iced tea that Holly sent me to review. And then what did I do after that? I really like this lip balm that I got from Ulta, this Hemp's lip balm. It's really nice. I'm not even lying to you when I tell you that there truly is a hair on there. Can you see? That is so funny. Do you guys see it? I joke about that, but there really is. It's gone now. Then I went and I picked up Pee-Pee's medication. What is going on here? This car just in the middle of the road. I went and picked up Pee-Pee's medication. And then, I went to the post office to get a bunch of boxes to mail stuff out. And when I went, I didn't even end up getting what I needed. So I need to do that. Maybe if I drive back on the way around, I'll do that. Where else did I go? I don't remember. It has seemed like a really long day. Oh, but I knew, okay, so we were going to the meeting tonight, Tanya and I, our home group meeting. And I wanted to get like my videos filmed and ready because I'm always like rushing, like before we leave. And I'm like, oh, I want to get this up and I want to get that up and whatever. And I'm always rushing. So I was like, I wanted to get them done early, which I was still rushing at the end with feeding the dogs and stuff like that. Well, okay, so the last 2 days, Boo Radley has been doing this thing to his like face like this. And he scratches himself anyway with his one paw. So I didn't really think anything about it. And then Alex last night, he like noticed that he was like scratching at it, like so he like looked inside his mouth and he was like, I can't tell. He was like, but I think that one of his teeth is loose. And it's like this big tooth. And I was like, really? And so he was like showing me, but like Boo Radley was like squirming and squiggling and he didn't want to be held down. So then today, when I was like filming videos and I was around the house, I noticed that he would just sit in one spot and he would just go like this. And so I like, real gently, like, you know, tried to like put him on his back and like I was like holding him and I was like trying to open it and he really didn't want me to look inside. Well, we're going out of town this weekend, so I was like, I'll of course be stressed the whole time wondering about this, if there's something wrong with his tooth. And he also has this patch on his back that like Tucker licks at and he's been scratching at. It's like, and so it's like almost kind of like a hot spot, it seems like. I don't know what it is. So I just called the vet today and I was like, see if we could get in with the vet. And our vet is actually gone tomorrow, but another vet that Tanya knows really well that works at the same place, he's there tomorrow. So I scheduled an appointment for little Boo Radley. I want to see about this tooth because I'm like real worried about this tooth. And I'm gonna do that tomorrow. We have that appointment in the morning. And then, and I also wanna see about this hot spot on his back. He used to get allergies, so I'm kind of wondering if that's what it is. But one of the things that Boo does, he's done this for a long time, is like he'll go out in the yard and he'll flip over on his back and then he rolls around and scratches his back. So I don't know, like we looked at his back and there's like literally nothing there. So I don't know what it is. I said something to Tanya and Tanya was like, it sounds to me like it's like hot spots that dogs get sometimes. So, but I would feel better about it just going to the vet and finding out what's going on, you know. So I'm taking him tomorrow to the vet. Which Boo Radley, out of all three of them, is literally the worst one to take to the vet. He hates going to the vet. He doesn't like, you know, as soon as, you know, he realizes that Tucker and Pee-Pee aren't coming, he like knows something's going on and he doesn't like it. And then when we get to the vet, he clings to me like literally, like he's just such a baby. He's so sweet, but I just feel bad for him. And you know how some dogs act mad? He doesn't act mad, and he just acts real scared. And they're so good to him at the vet because they know that he's just maybe just not 100%, you know? And he's such a sweet little baby. So that's tomorrow. So I got my videos filmed, I got those done. And then Alex and he called because he was like, well, I left work a little bit early because he was going to take his car in to go get serviced. Just like it's, you know, get the oil change and all that kind of stuff. So he had to drive where his car is from, which is like literally like a half an hour from work. Then he got stuck in traffic, and so I was talking to him because he was like, I got stuck in traffic and blah, 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 whatever. And then he got there, and he wanted them to look at his brakes too, and like what he wanted them to, they told him that they could do it, but then when he got there, they were like, oh, we don't have the time, you have to take it over to this other place. And he's like, he wasn't happy about it. So anyway, so then he was on his way home. So I was getting the videos up, and then I fed the dogs, and then Christmas time is here from I never knew what that guy looked like. That Vince Guaraldi trio. There's a picture of him on there, you know, from the Charlie Brown. But anyway, Christmas time is here. That song. I got that one a little bit off. Christmas time is here. So then I fed the dogs and I got ready to go to my meeting. And yeah. So then I went and picked up Tanya. And we went to the meeting tonight. Had a great time at the meeting. And then she asked me to take her to get a fountain pop afterwards. I took her. I was not in the mood for a fountain pop at all. And so I went home and watched a little bit of the Kardashians with Alex. And then I was like, I'm laying down, I'm tired. And that was at like 10:30. And then I was laying there in bed, and like literally 10 minutes after like I went upstairs, you know, because like our bedroom was like a loft bedroom, like all the lights went off, so I could tell that he was coming upstairs, and he like took the dogs outside and he was giving PP his medicine. And so then he came upstairs and they all got upstairs. So when he came up, then he turned his bedroom light on. I'm like, okay, now I'm up. So then I was like there, and I was like, I had started singing this song when I got home tonight from the meeting, and I got Alex laughing so hard. It was some stupid song, and it was like, it was like, I kept on saying something like, I did something again, and then I went, like, because I like, so I do this thing where I like invent songs, but like, they're basically like rock musicals. Like I'm talking, but I'm singing a song. So it's like, I went to the store again and again and again and again. And I was like, and again and again and again and again. And he was like laughing so hard. But I couldn't remember what the song was. That had happened like, you know, an hour and a half earlier. And I couldn't remember what the song was. So we were in bed, and I was like, what was that song that I was singing earlier? And he totally remembered it, and he wouldn't tell me because he didn't want me to start singing it again. And I go, what was that song that I was singing earlier? And he goes, I don't remember. And I go, yes, you do. And he wouldn't tell me what it was. And so we got laughing so hard. And the dogs were being real cute and real sweet and stuff. And then I lay down there and I set my alarm for like an hour. But I didn't get up. I kept on snoozing it. And then PP came and literally sat on my chest, which means, Dad, I have to go outside to go potty. So, I took the dogs outside. I gotta put my hoodie and my jeans on and took the dogs outside. I was like, oh my God, it's so cold outside. I was like, wake up, little Susie, wake up. Darlene Love, White Christmas, one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs. Anyway, so I actually have that song on my iTunes, on my phone. So, yeah, and then I left. We were talking to my neighbor today and about like these break-ins in the neighborhood and stuff. And, you know, I had talked about it on here last night, but I didn't really think a whole lot more about it. Well, apparently, like, she and Alex had talked or something, and they're like, okay, now they're getting all of these motion sensor lights for our backyard, which will be great, because it'll be like, anytime, like, I mean, I think we have like one between the buildings, and I think that's it. And then she has one out front, but our condo is lit up anyway, but hers, like, she has like one in this like walkway thing, and it like goes up like as soon as, like when the dogs like literally like walk over to where like the car is parked, like my car is parked, it like lights up that whole area. And Alex is like, oh yeah, I ordered all these motion sensor lights and whatever. I was like, okay. So anyway, I was like, well, I said, you know, I got this camera, security camera thing to do this review on. I said, we could just put that out there too, and I could, like, you know, buy like 2 more and whatever. I'm like, but it happened during the day, which to me has to mean that, like, whoever it was, like, knew the schedule of the people that were in the neighborhood. Because it was like I guess it was like somebody that was gone during the day or something, I don't know. But anyway, like, it happened during the day. And I'm like, there's like, the thing that's crazy about it is that our neighborhood, there's always so much going on. I mean, there always is like landscapers and people like doing the yard and like people like doing trees. And then there's like at least like, you know, 3 or 4 like different like cable companies, phone companies. There's always stuff going on in our neighborhood. I mean, it's all older people that are always at home. So it's so crazy to me that it happened like just like out in the middle of the day, you know? Which almost kind of makes me think that it had to have been somebody, not like it was an inside job, but you know, I get so like mystery detective about this, but it almost kind of makes me think that it had to have been somebody that's in the neighborhood a lot that would have like known the schedule of people like when they come and go. Like ours would be so difficult because, I say that, you know, but because, first of all, we have nothing to steal except for 2 TVs, like I said, so if they want those 2 TVs, they can have them. But, like, I'm so, like, throughout the day, I, like, come and go, like, there's no rhyme or reason to when I'm there and when I'm not there, you know what I mean? So it would have to be somebody that would, like, know the schedule of, like, somebody's coming or somebody's going kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I guess people are more freaked out about it than I'm kind of surprised that I'm not more freaked out about it, I guess. But anyway. I mean, I called the police on a ghost. Do you think I wouldn't call the police if I thought somebody was walking around our property that they shouldn't be there? You know what I mean? I have no problem calling the police with quickness like that. It was at the end and I didn't even know it. And I didn't even know it. So now I'll be laying in bed and our backyard will just be like flashing off and on every time a bunny rabbit goes across the backyard. Anyway. I really do like this lip balm. I feel like there was something I wanted to tell you about tonight with Tanya and I. Now I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. That says shine brighter. Shine bright like a diamond. I feel like everywhere I go, Christmas is everywhere. I feel like I see it in every store, it's, you know, coming out. The thing is, you know, like, okay, I know it seems like it's like far away from Christmas, and it really is, but it's really like 6 weeks away. I mean, isn't it like 6 weeks away? 7 weeks away? I mean, it's almost the weekend, so then that's 3 weeks left, which means it's really 2 weeks until the week of Thanksgiving, okay? Let's just be for real. And then it's Christmas, so we're really basically 2 weeks away from Christmas. I mean, no, we're not, but, you know. I feel like that place is new, that Reynolds place. I've never seen it before, but I know the building's not new. It's crazy. Somebody said on my vlog that they used to live in Indianapolis and they wondered where I was driving to. All over the north. They said they were from the north side of Indianapolis. All over the north side of Indianapolis. If you're from here, I've probably driven there. Have a whole lot to talk about tonight. I'm like trying to think of something to talk about. It'll come to me. Give me a second. I'm like so cozy right now in this hoodie, and like the temperature is like the perfect temperature in the car. It's like I could just get on the interstate and just take a little road trip. And then just like roll in and check into some hotel. But I don't really have anywhere to go. I mean, I am going on a trip here this weekend, but I don't really have anywhere to go. Something, but the rest is all clouds. I don't think that I have, like, and I know that I said in a video a while ago that I wasn't going to put myself down as much. Like, I have done so horribly on my diet recently. Like, let's just even forget that statement. I'm not on a diet, okay? So let's just forget that statement. I have eaten so horribly lately. It's just like I gave up completely on any trying to be healthy whatsoever. And it always hits me like when I'm getting ready to go on vacation. Like, you know, like when I'm at home and all I have to do is throw on a hoodie, it's just like so easy to just not even think about it. You know what I mean? But then, like tonight, I was like trying to like pull some stuff together to see what I wanted to take this weekend and whatever. And I was like, this is so sad. Like, I'm so heavy right now. Like, uncomfortably heavy. And, I was like, Peter, you've got to, like, you've seriously got to do something about this. Like, this is a problem. And it's like, I keep on thinking, Oh Holy Night by Perry Como. I keep on thinking, like, well, I'll start it on such and such day, or I'll start it on such and such day, or, oh, I'll do it on Monday, or, and I just don't, like, and I don't even, like, you know, like, where before, I would, like, I just for a second forgot I was even filming. I felt like I was just sitting here talking to Tanya. Whereas, like, before, I would be like, okay, Sunday, I'm gonna start tomorrow, and I'm gonna start eating healthy and get to the gym and all this kind of stuff. And then like Monday would come and I would like not do any of that stuff, and I would like beat myself up. I'd be like, damn it, like I was gonna start it today. I don't even feel that way anymore. Like I don't even beat myself up anymore. I'm just like, Wednesday, Sunday, next Monday, you know? And it's gotten to the point where like I'm basically back at the, well, I am back at the exact same weight that I was before I started any kind of like eating healthy kind of thing. And I'm really noticing it, like in my comfort level of walking and fitting into clothes and things like that. And I'm just not happy with it. Do you ever get to the point where like, and then people want to give you advice on what to do, and you're just like, I really just can't hear one more thing. Like I really like I know that everybody knows the right thing to do. I mean, I know they do, you know, I know my trainer does. I know that I have a lot of friends of mine that want to give me like really, you know, healthy suggestions. I know there's a lot of you guys out there that care, and I appreciate it. But it's like, do you ever just get to the point, if you relate to this with me at all, you know, like I know I have a food addiction. I've worked on it. I know what things I need to do to eat healthy. I know what things I need to do to live healthy. But I don't do it. And I don't know what the gap is between. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what the gap is between. You know, like my sponsor and I were talking about like when I was drinking, like I could wake up the next day and be like, you know, like, oh my God, like what did I do last night? That kind of thing, right? But like with eating, there isn't like that similar kind of thing. You might have some remorse, but it's not as hardcore, right? And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, like in my head, I have this idea. It's like I see myself as being this healthy person of like walking and running every night, you know, and like I got that watch and everything, you know, and it's like I see myself as being this like healthy person in my head, and like walking and running and going to the gym and being really happy, you know, being really healthy and trying new foods and, you know, getting back on the Optavia so that I could like jumpstart, you know, being a little thinner and things like that. Not forever, but just, you know, to start. And it's like I have this idea of who I am in my head, and I can see it and I can visualize it, right? And it doesn't seem like that far removed from where I am right now. But then like for me to get from here to there seems like impossible. And then I feel real dedicated to it all day long. You know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then I come home and I just like eat like crap. I get home and I'm just like, I don't care anymore. Like I just want to eat some good food and go to bed. Like that's how I feel. And then I kind of get resentful sometimes because my metabolism is different than other people's. I know this is stupid, but it's like, even like, I mean, I love going out to dinner and having a good meal. That's not about a food addiction. It just isn't. You know, I've done enough inventory on that to know that there's nothing wrong with me wanting to go to a nice restaurant and having a good meal. Like going to Miami, one of the things I enjoy is trying new restaurants, trying new things, right? But like, if I go to Miami and I go out and I have a meal and I eat no more, no less than my husband does, right? Like the next day, I'm gonna pay for it. Like I'm gonna feel bloated, I'm gonna feel like, and I'm gonna be bloated, and I'm gonna be uncomfortable, and it's gonna be harder for me to walk and things like that. Like that's my reality, right? And so then I get resentful because other people don't have the similar response that I do. And you know, in my life, I've either had to take very drastic measures with my health, meaning that I had to, it was like all or nothing, like as far as like working out every day and eating like extremely like severe diet of watching what I was eating, you know, not diet like diet fad, but like my diet of my food and my intake, you know, of like watching my calories, eating like 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, you know, and eating very like lean meats when I wasn't a vegetarian, and, you know, high protein, low carb diets and things like that. And I was fine. I wasn't miserable, but I wouldn't say I was enjoying my life to the fullest. Like, I was pretty focused on it. Like, I had a friend of mine one time, and he was like, you know, you're so, like, obsessive when it comes to anything. He was like, I feel like you're obsessive about working out and being healthy. And I think I was at that time, you know. I looked incredible. Like, I mean, I looked incredible at that time. And, I mean, I look back on how I looked, and it was like I could fit in anything. And that was, like, the year, I think that was like the year before I met my ex. It was the year before I met my ex. Or that 6 months or whatever. And I just was in incredible shape. But you know, when I look back on that body that I had at that point, I wasn't really any happier then than I am now. I don't feel like my body image makes me any happier or not happy. Like, I don't feel like super heavy or super thin or super in shape or whatever. Like, I was cut. And I don't feel like that determines my happiness level. I don't know that I'll ever figure it out in this lifetime. But I do know this. I'm not happy right now. Like, I'm happy, like, in my life, but I'm not happy with my body. I'm not happy with how I look. I'm not happy with how and it's mostly how I feel, you know? I'm kind of at a point, again, where I don't like looking in mirrors. If you've ever been there, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, we have this huge mirror in our living room, and, I just don't like looking at the mirror. You know, I was just thinking to myself, like, that mirror obviously came from the house that I grew up in. But I don't know where that mirror came from. I don't remember it in the house that I grew up in. Maybe it was in our dining room. That's so strange. I don't remember where it was from. You know, it's like when I talk to my trainer and stuff, she's so sweet. And she's very challenging. You know, she'll be like, what do I need to do to help you meet your goals? I don't know. I know what I need to do. Well, what do you need to do? I need to show up for my training sessions. But that's not happening. I know. So what do I need to do to help you meet your goals? I don't know. It's not her fault, you know? I lack, like, total motivation when it comes to that. You know, it's interesting because I've watched some other channels of, like, people, you know, YouTubers that, like, are attempting to lose weight, or they're heavier, you know, or whatever, they're trying to lose weight, or they're losing weight or whatever. And I feel like it's either I feel like there's a lot of bullshit artists on YouTube, if you want to know the truth. I feel like there's a lot of people that just say or do something because completely it's just all for views. Like, I just feel like, I don't know. When I started watching YouTube, you know, 10 years ago or whatever, it just was a different world, you know? It was like, people got on YouTube and made videos because it was fun. And like people that I watched back in the day, not that there wasn't a bit of a character to who they were, like Chris Crocker or Adore Delano and Johnny Boy and Tyler Oakley and Glozell Green and these people. I mean, obviously there were characters, right? Like, I mean, there were exaggerations of themselves. Like, I think that's why like, when people watch my like drama channel, they're like, is this who you are? I'm like, it's an exaggeration of who I am. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do act like that sometimes, but it's an exaggeration of who I am. And that was the old school YouTube that I watch, right? But it was also very just like, it was very real. There was like, there was a real quality to it. And now it's like we got this community and that community and this community and that, and people take themselves way too seriously with all of it, you know? And it's like, I feel like there's all these people out there that like, they really think through this whole thing. Like, I need to do this for views, and I need to do this for views, and I need to do this to get subscribers and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I'm just trying to find somebody that I relate to out there to watch, you know, that like is struggling as hard as I am. Like when you talk about the struggle is real, like as far as the weight loss thing, I don't want to see somebody sit there and talk about, you know, like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you know, like either they're being successful or they're failing, but they're not talking about the hardships of it. Like that to me is like such a huge part of it. Like I'd like to see somebody get on camera and just be like, I am really effing struggling with this. Like I cannot do this. Like I want to be thin, I want to be in shape, I want to be healthy. Everything in my mind tells me I need to. My doctor tells me I need to. You know, like my family and friends want me to be healthy and be in shape, but I struggle with. Like I want to hear somebody say that. That's what I want to see in our YouTube video. I'm so tired of this BS on YouTube. When I tell you, if you knew a fourth of what I know behind the scenes of all of the BS and lies that goes on out there, I mean, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I sit there and watch it, and I'm like, this is just ridiculous. So if y'all know any real YouTubers out there, let me know. I got fired up there for a second, didn't I? But no, it's frustrating, you know? It's like, I want to see somebody get real about some stuff, you know? And say I'm really struggling with this weight loss thing and I don't know what to do about it. You know, I talk about how blessed I feel for my life. I do. I feel extremely blessed, you know? I was talking about that tonight in the meeting. I was like, I say this a lot. My old sponsor used to say it. I basically stole it from him, but I believe it, you know, is that I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. And what is going on with that church being so busy at 3 o'clock in the morning? That's weird. But I do. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams, you know? And, I mean, I make my own schedule. I have a fantastic husband. I have 3 amazing dogs. I have friends. I have family that surround me and support me. I get to do something on a daily basis that I absolutely am extremely passionate about and love to do. You know, I get to write. I was talking about making videos, but in addition, I get to write. You know? I feel extremely grateful for my life. I kind of just just lost what I was thinking about, which is probably good. That's why I like get in my head about gratitude, and then I kind of like, whatever, you know. It sometimes kind of centers me. Have you noticed I keep on tying the string over and over and over again? What am I doing? But I also know that, like, you know, with the weight stuff, like, I'd be so much happier if I could lose some weight and keep it off. I'm never going to be a perfect example of what healthy living is like. But, you know, like, another thing is, like, well, people will say to me, they'll be like, I mean, and I'm not just talking on YouTube, I'm talking about my personal life too, you know. People be like, well, it's not just about losing weight, it's not just about a certain size or a diet, you know, it's about healthy living too. And I'm like, okay, that's all fine and well for people to say to me, but, like, at the same time, like, I know myself heavy and I know myself, like, thinner, and, like, being comfortable enough to fit into certain clothes, like, that's, like, a big part of it. Like, it isn't so much how I feel that I look, but it's how do I feel that I feel. Like, it's uncomfortable to be fat, okay? Like, let me just put it out there for you if y'all don't know. Like, and you can't see me down here with my gut and all this kind of stuff, okay? It is uncomfortable to be heavy. And, you know, it's hard to do anything athletic whatsoever. You get tired a lot. I don't want to be that. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I don't want to be that. I'm embarrassed of it, you know? I'm embarrassed for to myself. Like, I'm not embarrassed to anybody else or anybody calling me out for it. I could care less about all that. Listen, you reach a certain age, that stuff doesn't matter to you anymore. It really doesn't. You know what I mean? I think at some point you're just kind of like, well, life is life, you know? But at the same time, it's like, you need to pull it together. Okay, I was at the end, so I pulled in here to see what I was talking about before I started talking about how grateful I am for my life. I don't even know what I was going to talk about. I think I was going to say, you know, like, I want to complain about my weight and my body images and stuff like that, but I'm extremely grateful for my life, which I am. But I know that, like, you know, the hard thing is that the condition of my body is up to me. Nobody else can do that. You know what I mean? I'm the one that has to do that. And I know that. And, I keep on using this lip balm tonight because I'm just kind of addicted to it, the fact that I just bought it. But, you know, the reality is that all of the things in my life that I'm the most proud of, you know, my sobriety, writing a book, getting my master's degree, you know, everything in my life that I'm the most proud of, I did. You know what I mean? I did the work on it. I worked my ass up to do it. Well, I mean, me and my higher power, I guess, but take this price tag off. I can't stand price tags on stuff. It's one of my pet peeves. So, but that's because I believe in that. You don't have to believe them. Not about price tags, about my higher power. But, you know, I mean, I know, like, I don't know, it's just hard for me. You know what's hard for me is this, I think. first of all, I've been extremely healthy at certain periods of my life, and not just for like a month, not just until I lost the weight, but like for a period, like 2 years at a time, 3 years at a time, you know? My first boyfriend and I, he is like, I mean, to this day, I still see pictures of him and I'm like, oh my God, he like goes to the gym all the time. He's like extremely in shape. And, you know, when he and I were together, and we were together almost 5 years, you know, my roommate at the time, she part-time worked at a gym, you know, like she was really into working out, and he was really into like lifting weights and working out. I was working out all the time. You know, that was like a 4 or 5 year period of my life where I was really, really healthy. First of all, I was super thin. I don't think I was ever over, you know, I was young. I was in my 20s, you know. I was like, at that time, well, he and I started dating so I got sober when I was 22, so he and I started dating when I was 23. So 23 to 28, basically, you know, I was never over 160 in that relationship. Okay, just put this in perspective. I'm like 245 right now, okay? So I was like 100 pounds thinner than I am right now. Think about that. And I was healthy. I was eating healthy. I was working out all the time. I was running. I was rollerblading. I was lifting weights. I was healthy. I was a healthy example of myself. Of course, I was 20, you know, years younger than I am now, or 15 years younger. God, 20 years younger than I am now. But, gosh, it was so long ago. You know, and then when he and I broke up, I was still healthy and working out. And then I got together with my ex, and he and I just completely, like, I just lost any sense of reality of being healthy. And, like, gained a shit ton of weight. This guy is literally, when I came this way, he was sitting out of the corner, and he's still just standing out there in the corner. But he doesn't look like, you know, one of those people that's like asking for money or anything. He's just standing out there in the corner. Not the corner, but like the middle of the street, like on the thing. So when my ex and I got together, we just were extremely unhealthy. And, you know, even at the end of the relationship, he said to me something to the effect of, one time when we were discussing the relationship afterwards, he said, you know, I just think that we were two food addicts that fell in love. But I don't know that I necessarily, well, I definitely think I was, you know, a food addict, but I don't know that it portrayed itself with food before he and I met. Like, I'd never eaten, and I don't blame it on him, but I had never eaten the way that I ate when I was with him, like before I had met him. Like, my addiction didn't come out in that way, you know? And like my sponsor today, she knows a lot about food addiction. But like my sponsor back then didn't. So we didn't really talk about it in that regard, you know? It was just, oh, you're comfortable and you're happy in this relationship and you're gaining a lot of weight. And, you know, when that happens a lot is when because I do believe that. I don't believe that people just gain weight when they're miserable. I think people gain weight when they're happy too. I really do. You know, I've sometimes gained the most weight when I've been the happiest in my life. And then I think I just get comfortable. You just get comfortable in life, and it's like you just kind of stop caring, you know? It's like a period of my life where I gained a lot of weight was, you know, when I hadn't gone to meetings for 4 years, and then I came back in and I started going to meetings again. And, you know, prior to that, my life looked like Wednesday through Sunday, Alex and I were going out. We were going out to bars, we were going out to clubs, we were dancing, we were doing things. I mean, we were always social. Well, when you're going out a lot, you want to look cute, you want to look hot, you want to have a cute little outfit on for you. You know what I mean? You want to look good when you go out. Buy a new outfit here, buy a new outfit there, right? You always want to look good. Well, all of a sudden, I'm not doing that anymore, you know? And our life drastically changes, and he's going out one night a week, and we're having date night, which is basically food. We're going to eat food somewhere. And then the rest of the nights, I'm going to meetings. Putting on a hoodie like this, right? So who cares? It doesn't matter. I don't care what people in a meeting think I look like. That's not why I'm there. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden it was like, oh, and then afterwards, you want to go to Perkins, you want to go to Steak and Shake, you want to go to Denny's, you want to go get a cheeseburger. You know, it's like, this is what I was doing. And so I would call Alex on my way home and be like, hey, I'm going to go get a cheeseburger with some friends. Want me to bring you something? Yeah, bring me some fries when you're done or whatever. And then all of a sudden, over the course of a couple, you know, my first 2-3 years back, I started gaining a lot of weight back. And that's really what happened. Well, that was 2 or 3 of my happiest years of my life. That was when I felt, you know, really in my entire life was that time that I came back. I was like a newcomer, you know, I was like really centered and balanced and, you know, and now it's like I have this dream life. And I have no excuse to not be at the gym every single day. I have the time to do it. And the money to afford a personal trainer. And I have no excuse not to go. I have no excuse not to eat healthy. But I don't. And like I said the last time, you know, I would love to be a story of inspiration for people to say, I struggled so hard. I never thought that I could get into shape, but like, look at me now. Like, I'd love to be that story for other people, but I'm not that story today. You know, my story is the story of the struggle bus. Like, I just can't do it. I can't. And it's not, you know, like, my old sponsor used to always say to me, can't lives on one street. But, you know, that's true. You know, it's not that I can't do it, it's that I won't do it. I'm not willing to do the work. And I'm sitting here and I'm making excuses for it and talking about how tough it is and all this and all that and whatever, blah, 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 whatever. I just need to do the work. And I think that one of the things that's really scary to me as I get older, and if you're older and you're heavier, you'll relate to this. And if you're older and you have a husband, because it does affect men in different ways. But as I get, you know, older, I mean, I'm 47, right? I'm like, what's it gonna take for me? Am I gonna have to have a heart attack? Like, is it gonna be something where I'm just like walking through a mall and I'm like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, seriously? Like, cause let's just be for real. I'm not healthy. Like, I am not an example of health whatsoever. So what's it gonna take for me to get it? And I know that thin people that run marathons have heart attacks too, but it doesn't happen as often as people that are unhealthy. Let's just be for real. I am like not an example of any kind of good health. So it's like, you know, what's it gonna take? I would love by next summer to be, like, to have lost a certain amount of weight to where I'm like, okay, if I could just stay here, which in all honesty, if I could get to like 180, I would be totally fine with that. If I lost more than that, I would be happy with that too. But I don't ever want to get to some ridiculous weight again, like 150 or 160. I mean, that was like, I look too thin. It's crazy because if you look at what weight I'm supposed to be like 160. But at 160, I look emaciated. But like if I was at like 180, 185, I would be 180, 185 and like being active, like going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. Eating healthy, not doing Optavia. Like I want to do Optavia to like lose some weight at the beginning, right? But then transitioning that into eating healthy so that I'm eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, you know? And, you know, maybe one night a week going out and having like an Impossible Burger or something like that, you know what I mean? Or pasta. But other than that, eating real healthy throughout the week, feeling really good, you know, drinking a lot of water, a lot of juices, things like that. You know what I mean? Like that's where I would like to be by next summer. And being extremely active, like doing things outside, like taking long walks, running outside. Why is this car like, you have a whole other lane. Why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like that's where I would like to be, where I physically every day, like just feel physically motivated and inspired. I'd like to be there. Like that's where I would like to be. And I know that I can do it. I know I can. It's just when am I gonna start it? well, I guess you're gonna have to stay along for the ride. You know what I mean? Am I the only one that feels this way, or does anybody else out there feel this way? Does anybody else relate to my story? I can't put any more chapstick on. I don't need any more lip balm. I'm not super excited about taking little Boo Radley to the vet tomorrow. He hates to go to the vet. You know, like when you're sitting there in the vet, like the waiting area, and all the dogs are like sitting there on the floor, and some of them are sitting next to their, like, you know, owners or masters or whatever, and they're just kind of like, Boo Radley is literally crawling at my chest, like, get me out of here, Dad. I don't know these other dogs. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. Get me out of here. I want to be home. And Tucker is so protective of him that, like, as soon as I pick him up to take him, Tucker's gonna be like, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going with him? Where are you going with him? He gets like manic almost. Like, Tucker's so protective of Boo Radley. And they're cute. They're so funny. Listen how still it is outside. There's like these like wood, like, so this is like a mall up here, and there's like these woods over here by the interstate, and these woods over here, and these woods back in here. But they're not like big woods. They're just probably like a city block, and then like a city block, and then like a city block. I have driven by these woods over here. I was coming off the interstate, or not, it's not even the interstate, it's like a little like highway. I was coming off of it the other day. Now, I have driven these roads. That was how you got to my aunt's house when I was a little kid. So, with my mom, ever since I was a little kid, I've gone up and down these roads, right? One day, I was stuck in traffic. And I think it's because when you come off the off-ramp, you just kind of, like, come off of it real fast and you don't really notice it. But I was coming off the off-ramp and, like, up to over here. So, you can see I'm by the mall, right? So, this is literally right across from the mall. And I'm sitting there and I'm stuck in like gridlock traffic coming off the interstate, or not even off the interstate, off the little, you know, highway there. And I look to my left where it's like, I don't even know if I would call it woods. I'd call it more like brush or whatever, you know. And there was like a little clearing where it was obvious that somebody lived in there. And I was like, oh my God, like it never occurred to me that somebody like lived in this area, you know? And I was thinking about that tonight. Somebody you know, I get so many nice messages on my vlogs from people that are like, thank you for helping me get through a breakup, or, you know, it's not like, I'm talking about anything magical on this channel. I think people just, they listen to it like white noise in the background, or they like the stories or whatever. I don't know what it is, you know, sometimes with you guys. My battery is flashing. I have to pull in here and change it. Hold on. Did I bring my battery? Please tell me I brought my battery. I think I have it in my pocket, actually. Well, that's my key. Oh, man. Here it is. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. What was I gonna say? Well, I was gonna read this comment, but I'm just gonna reference it in a second. Make sure that I know who said it. You know, how was I gonna say what I was gonna say? I don't really know what it is. about this vlog that people enjoy listening to. Yeah, I really don't. Like I said, you guys say so many wonderful things to me, and you're so gracious. And I get so many comments from people that say things, you know, about like, thank you for helping me get through this or get through that or whatever. And I think, like, if we're gonna keep it real, one of my real issues with YouTubers, I was actually thinking about making a video about this on my drama channel tomorrow, is when YouTubers like complain about the negativity that they get, but they don't ever acknowledge the praise or the positivity that they get, right? It's like you have all these people over here that love you or love to watch what you put out, but you don't acknowledge that, but you only focus on the negative, right? And I think it's easy to do that. Like, I don't think that, like, I think they're human beings. I think it's very much like, you know, when you're in a room of 100 people, the one person that says something negative about you is the one person that you hear, you know what I mean? There's a group of people out there that make my life very difficult, and they harass my family, they harass my friends, they harass anybody that I ever do a video with, and I mean, when I say harass, I mean harass, and you know, ridiculously. And if there was ever a time or a point when I thought, I'm just not going to do YouTube anymore, it was because of that. Not because I couldn't handle it, but because of that. But I have the most gracious family and friends in my life that know how much I love to do this. And they also see the impact that it has on other people. So, you know, tonight I received this comment on my video, and it was from Allie. I just looked up her name. I wanted to make sure I got her name. And she said that she and her boyfriend have been homeless for the last, I think she said couple weeks, or couple days, couple weeks, which I just can't even imagine, you know? And that my vlogs were like the only thing keeping her going. My vlogs, that I just drive around in a car and I just say crazy stuff, you know, tell stupid stories. I don't claim to do anything magical on this channel. I don't claim to be the wisest person in the world. I don't claim to be anything more than just somebody talking that somebody probably hears in the background and thinks he's kind of like a friend. It's kind of like listening to a friend talk. But those are the comments that I see today. Those are the comments that have the weight that carry in my life. To Allie and to anybody else out there struggling today, I want you to know, I read every single one of your comments. It's not missed on me. I feel for all of you. I can't imagine. I'm glad that in some small way my vlog helps. When my family and friends are affected by what others say, like my sister-in-law, Liliana, said to me, I don't care what those people say because you help so many people. And I don't see that sometimes, you know. And I want to be that for people. I want to be a safe place for people. That people can listen to me talk, and maybe it helps them get away from something for a little while. And I think ultimately, and I believe this, that love trumps all. And I think that's why, you know, every day in my videos, I say, you know, like, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Because I know that there's one person out there today that needs to hear that. There's just at least one person that needs to hear that. Because there have been times in my life that I have needed to hear that. And it's okay if people don't like me. There's gonna be people that don't like me. There's gonna be people that don't like you. You know? But if I can be an example of anything, what I want to be an example to those people out there that are struggling or going through stuff, not that my pain is equal or I've gone through the exact same things, because many times I haven't, with whatever your experiences are. I've never been homeless. I don't know what that's like. I've been close to that, but I haven't been like that before. I can't even imagine. I feel for you, Allie. Like, I can't imagine that. But I think in sharing our stories, you know, I just, like, when I looked on there, there were 4 responses underneath there of people that were just like heartfelt love. And that's why I love this channel, and that's why I have no intention of stopping this channel, you know? And it's those comments. And it's everything from somebody, you know, just making dinner in the evening and needing somebody's, you know, commentary running in the background, to somebody sitting and, you know, stuck in traffic listening to my vlog, to somebody sitting in chemo. What I do isn't really that special. I could be anybody. I could be any YouTuber out there. But I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. That's what's truly special. Not me, you. And you guys allowing me in your lives to be part of that. Because you could allow anybody in. You could allow any YouTuber in to be part of that. And you allow me for an hour of your day to be part of your life. And that's a pretty special thing. And that's not missed on me. And I just want people to know how much that means to me. It really, really means a lot to me. And so, you know, like, when you think about my crazy schedule, or getting up in the middle of the night and going to vlog and, you know, whatever, or like Alex shaking me and going, babe, you gotta go vlog, you know, or my family understanding, you know, me making videos around things that I have to do, or my friends or whatever, or Tanya jumping in a vlog because she knows that people get a kick out of seeing her every once in a while, even though she doesn't want her privacy compromised. It's because I am so blessed to have such loving people in my life that are so supportive of me doing something that I love, that then other people get something out of, you know? And I think that's really the way the world should work. And for those people that don't like me, keep on not liking me. And I'll keep on focusing my attention on the people that do. And it's okay. And that's okay. But for those people out there that do like me, thank you. feels good to be liked. For any of us out there, you know? I know a lot of you people that listen to my vlog or watch my vlog are lonely. I know a lot of you don't have a lot of people in your lives. You share that with me. Like I said, I get so many emails a day, and people are just like, I mean, I get literally, you guys, I get emails where people send me paragraphs, you know, and I get through, you know, a few of them at a time, and just the stories of your lives that you share with me, it's just like, we're all just getting by, I think, you know? We're all just getting by. And if we can maybe share some tears and the things that all of us find a little, you know, sadness in, and maybe laugh a little bit at some funny Christmas stories or memories of the past, then isn't that good too, you know? And then we're all just kind of hanging out, all of us together. And maybe that's what this channel is. Maybe this channel is just a place to kind of come and hang out. Because it's just really not that deep. You know, it just isn't. And I don't ever claim for it to be. But I wanted to say that tonight. You know, it's like, I never thought 3 years ago, I'm coming up on 3 years of doing this vlog, and I never thought 3 years ago that when I started it, that I would ever get some of the comments and the messages that I get from people, you know? I never, ever would have imagined. Not on a channel where I'm just driving around talking in a car. So thank you for allowing me to be part of your life. And I really, really appreciate it. And that's about as emotional as I feel like getting today. Tanya and I had kind of an emotional conversation earlier today. It started out of nothing. Tonight we were leaving our meeting, and I just think some days you just feel more emotional than others. You know, sometimes things just hit you more powerfully than others, and sometimes you realize that life is pretty real on some days more than others, you know, and sometimes your friend gets in your car and it's just to ride and go get a fountain pop, and other times your friend gets in the car and you realize, I'm pretty effing blessed to have this lady in my life, you know? Like, it's pretty magical. I'm just super grateful today. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. I hope you guys are having, what is tomorrow, Wednesday? I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday. Share a little bit about your life in the comment section below, and pass on some love to somebody else in the comment section below, you know? Reply to one other person today in the comment section below if you're somebody that regularly comments, and let them know, you know? I think it's, let them know that you see them, you know? And I know I'll get that comment that says, why don't you respond to the comments? So I'll try and respond to the comments today. Now I know I'm saying this now and I'll forget by tomorrow. Well, by the time I post this vlog, I'll be at my mother-in-law's helping her with this video that she wants to put together, because I was supposed to do that with her the other night, but now I'm going to be doing it with her on Wednesday night. But anyway, I will try to respond to the comments in the vlogs today. And have a great day. Just have an amazing day, unless you have other plans, and remember that life is not a dress rehearsal. You're exchanging a day of your life for it, and that's a pretty big deal. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say to yourself, I love you. You are important, and you are valuable, and you are worthy. And like I said, make sure that you let somebody else know today. And yeah, I think that's it. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.